Although I have suffered the loss of 2 family members by assassination, I remain firmly and unequivocally opposed to the death penalty for those convicted of capital offenses. An evil deed is not redeemed by an evil deed of retaliation. Coretta Scott King. Capital punishment is reserved for individuals found guilty of heinous crimes. Yet debates over the death penalty extend beyond the immediate question of individual equity and ethics. It addresses broader sociological issues, the credibility of the justice system, and the role of the state in the administration of punishment. This topic is significant in terms of human rights, justice, and the principles that drive a society's legal and moral framework. The death penalty as a form of punishment is unjust. We affirm the proposition that the death penalty is unjust. The death penalty, also known as capital punishment, is the execution of a person who has been found guilty of a capital offense in court, usually carried out through lethal injection. My value is justice. I define justice as a fair and ethical treatment dispensed by the law. My value criterion is to uphold justice in society. The death penalty is unjust, as it is discriminatory, unethical, and ineffective at deterring crime. Capital punishment is a discriminatory practice that targets minorities in the U.S. The American Civil Liberties Union states that since 1976, people of color have disproportionately accounted for over 43% sentenced to death. The study also found that if the victim were white, the defendant was 3 times more likely to be executed. Additionally, the Equal Justice Initiative reports that at least 20% of people awaiting execution have a serious mental illness. 1 person on death row has been exonerated for every 8 individuals executed. Inadequate defense counsel contributes to wrongful convictions and death sentences. This is not something to be taken lightly. Rather than executing those who have experienced trauma, physical injury, or disease as a symbol of society's moral outrage over violent crime, we could direct our resources toward providing mental health care and assistance, which would actually reduce violent crime in our communities. The death penalty has no deterrent impact on crime, wrongfully grants governments the right to take human life, and promotes societal inequities by disproportionately targeting people of color and those with limited financial resources. The death penalty is being utilized as an act of further oppression and not implemented as a true appendage of justice. The death penalty does not deter crime or serve justice to American people. The Death Penalty Information Center states that over the past 20 years, homicide rates have risen and fallen similarly in both states with and without the death penalty, suggesting that the threat of capital punishment does nothing to deter criminals. According to the Pew Research Center, the average time period between sentencing and execution was 22 years in 2019. The death penalty is no more a deterrent than a life sentence in prison. The many years spent incarcerated and awaiting execution is an inhumane form of torture in and of itself. In fact, more death row convicts have died from natural causes or suicide than from executions, making it an obsolete form of punishment and doing very little to aid grieving families. The death penalty does not deter crime or encourage justice. It only violates our human right to life. The death penalty is an unjust form of punishment. The death sentence does not serve justice because it is discriminatory, unethical, and inefficient in terms of crime prevention. Justice is something we should all strive for, yet the death penalty is a step backward. As Martha Stewart once said, "The last place I would ever want to be is prison." Is this truly not enough of a deterrent? Thank you.